Michael Morales Torres para Lucha Libre Online, la marca número 1 de Pro Wrestling y Combat Sports en el mundo. Mi invitado especial en la tarde, mañana o noche de hoy, dependiendo de cuando usted esté viendo esto, The Wrestling God, directamente desde Impact Wrestling, ex campeón mundial peso completo de Impact. Moose llega nuevamente aquí a Lucha Libre Online. Moose, brother, it's an honor to have you back here in Lucha Libre Online. How are things going for you?
Things are going well. I'm in Cincinnati enjoying a media tour day. Yeah.
Brother, as mentioned, thank you very much for your time. And let's start talking about the perfect storm, a 6+ month storyline developed long-term between two men that gave everything in the ring. And obviously talking about you and Josh Alexander, the storytelling, the promos, they were very, very, very raw, real. They were really rough to watch sometimes because of the things you guys said and everything. How was your experience working with Josh during those months for that particular Impact pay-per-view?
Josh is awesome, man. He's a good person, a great human being. He's even a better wrestler. And working with a guy like him, obviously in the last year and a half or 2 years or whatever, he showed the world why he's one of the best wrestlers in the universe, undoubtedly. And I think we both, this last pay-per-view Rebellion, showed why Impact Wrestling has and produces some of the best wrestling matches with the match we gave the fans. And instant classic, 5 stars, whatever you want to call it. Some even says is the best match, championship match Impact has had in his career. So I'm glad that he was my dancing partner for that. And yeah, I'm happy to see what his championship run will look like.
I'm gonna quote something you said: best championship match in Impact history. Obviously referring to a title match between Josh Alexander and yourself at Rebellion. There were a lot of title matches on Impact, but a lot of people, including me, can agree that's a fact, that what you stated is correct. That was one of the best, if not the best championship match in Impact's history. What do you think was the key behind the success of that particular match at Rebellion?
The story leading up to it. It's all about the story leading up to the match. I think this was one of those matches where people were so invested in the outcome of this match. When you have the ultimate baby face and the ultimate bad guy, it's kind of like watching a movie where you're watching Thanos go against the Avengers, and you really, 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 really want the Avengers to win. And when the Avengers win, is like, this was great. This was classic. And I think comparing that to the story me and Josh told the past 6 months is I was at Thanos and Josh was the Avengers. And you really wanted Josh to prevail at the end of the story. And then once we gave it to him, it was instant classic. So, yeah.
You mentioned something in a promo that got me. I was watching Impact, and at that moment, I started hearing the promo or what you were stating. And you said that you were going to beat Josh Alexander so bad that he was gonna beg you to go to his home and show his wife and kids what a real man and what a real champion looked like. In my opinion, that's the best work you've ever done in a microphone. Like, it was uncomfortable to watch. Like, Jesus Christ, that's that dude's family. That, you know, the kids was there, the wife was there. Who was behind that idea, man?
I don't know. The thing is with Impact, which is so great, they like guys like Jimmy Jacobs and RD are some of the best producers / writers that's in the wrestling business, and they give you bullet points of what you need to say, but ultimately you have to put the promos together. And I usually go to guys like RD and guys like Jimmy Jacobs if I need words, I need liners, or need a closing statement. And those guys are pretty good in helping me out with that. So I don't know if I honestly came up with that or if RD helped me with it, or Jimmy helped me with it. But I can't take all the credit for it because I'm working with guys like Jimmy and RD who are some of the best writers, if not the best writers in professional wrestling.
You stated something really interesting in an interview with the Good Brothers, and that's they ask you about which was the moment that, you know, defined your career and helped you push even further to what you are today. And you quoted that it was when you stopped being a mark or a wrestling fan in the, you know, the offensive way and everything. How important, you know, mentally for you was to do that transition from being, you know, a wrestling fan to, hey, this is a business. I'm here to earn money. I'm here to generate hate. I'm here to trend. I'm here to put the numbers. How crucial was to leave that pro wrestling fan mindset and become a pro wrestler for you?
I think for different people have their different ways of getting to the top. Like you look at a guy like Josh, and no knock on him, his way of getting to the top is being a great wrestler, is what he does in between the squared circle. And like you look at guys like the Good Brothers, their being a star is how cool they are and what they do on the microphone. And for me, I realize it's easier being a star when you have a microphone in your face most of the time and talking and generating emotions from the fans that way, compared to the way Josh does it, where he goes in the ring and he produces 5-star classics and all these awesome matches. And I mean, kudos to him. He's great at that. And just for me, I always listen to the term work hard, work smarter, not harder. And just for me, I've learned throughout the years, like, obviously I'm not as good in-ring wrestler as Josh, but I look at myself as a good wrestler. And for me, I think for the longest, I was always trying to produce all these great matches, and I always wanted to wrestle, and I always wanted to. And if I wasn't in the ring wrestling, I would always get mad, and I never learned that I don't need to wrestle or need to be in the ring to be a star. I could be a star by my presence and the way I carry myself and what things that I say. And I think once I learned that mentality. And that's why I call being a mark. Once I learned that mentality, that's what made me change. And that's where you see the change where a lot of people don't know this. Before last night's episode, the Impact, I haven't wrestled on Access TV in about 5-6 months. But still, I was still one of the biggest stars in the company. And that's because of even though I wasn't wrestling in ring, I always had a mic in my hand, or I was always on TV using my words to make me a bigger star. So long story short, there's different ways of going about it. Some people go the in-ring way, getting known and being the guy, and some people go the having the mic in their hands way. For me, it's easier just talking and using my words and being the presence.
If you allow me, I'm going to say something in Spanish. Impact Wrestling está todos los jueves disponibles a las 8 de la noche, hora del este, por Access TV y por el canal de YouTube de Impact Wrestling. Lo pueden buscar así mismo en Impact Wrestling en YouTube. Se suscriben desde $1 hasta $5 mensuales. Todos los jueves, 8 de la noche, programación excelente. Además de eso, están disponibles también en shopimpact.com. Under Siege está también disponible el 7 de mayo. Sí, el 7 de mayo van a estar en Newport, Kentucky. Está disponible por Impact Plus. Está disponible también por Fight. Pero lo más importante es que si estás en Kentucky, estás en esa área para ver Under Siege, adquiere tus boletos ahora mismo. Puedes ir directamente a la página de ellos en Access TV. Si no me equivoco, es tix.axs o access.com. Aquí abajo va a aparecer la descripción para los tickets, pero hay 2 días, 7 y 8 de mayo. No se lo pueden perder. Si están en el área de Kentucky, Impact Wrestling va a estar allí, Under Siege. 7 de mayo y el 8 con los tapings, así que tienen que echarle un ojo a esto. En adición a esto, también tienen su aniversario, Slammiversary. Hoy salen a la venta los boletos de Slammiversary. Va a ser el 19 de junio desde Nashville, Tennessee, en el Fairgrounds, en el viejo complejo que todo comenzó. 20 años de Impact Wrestling, 19 de julio y boletos disponibles en impactwrestling.com, which leads me to my next question. Under Siege, the next pay-per-view or the next event you're going to have is on May 7th. You already proved that you do not need a title to be relevant. You proved that with a microphone, as you mentioned before in the interview, you will do damage and stay relevant inside the wrestling industry. What's Moose's plan? What's the Wrestling Gods plan for the next event?
I don't know yet. I haven't thought that through. I guess you would have to watch it to find out what I'm going to do. Obviously, I'm not Impact World Champion anymore, and Josh is the new Impact World Champion, and he earned it. He earned it. There's a quote that I read that is very true. You have to, the same way you handle a victory, you have to handle defeat. And I have to be a man that said that Josh, the last two times I faced him, was better than me in the ring, and I'll be back. And once I get my title back, I'm going to be even more vicious. But I can't give you my game plan on what I'm going to do under Siege, so you'll have to watch it to see what I'm going to do or what I'm going to say or what's next for Moose.
And we will be definitely watching it at Impact Plus. Last question from me. You worked back on 2017 with Cody Rhodes after he went off WWE, but that's not the same Moose that you are today. You've evolved a lot since the moment you faced Cody to your last match with Josh Alexander. What do you think is, the key behind the evolution of the wrestling god? Like, what motivated you to be what you are today? You started way back in 2016. You've been here for 6 years. What's the key behind your success?
Just waking up, trying to be a better human being and a better wrestler every day. Obviously, I don't think anybody should want to stay the same, because wrestling doesn't stay the same. Wrestling is steadily changing and evolving and growing. So us as individuals and performance, we want to do the same. And that's my motivation. My motivation, honestly, is in being, I don't think it's fair to say that one person is the greatest at anything when it comes to professional wrestling. But once you make your top 20 or top 30 or top 40 or whatever it is, I want to be in that list. So that's my motivation to get better and evolve.
Awesome, brother. Moose, we thank you so much for your time, as well to Ross and the Impact Wrestling team for making this possible. Wishing you success in your career and in your personal life. And let's wrap this up en español. Este fue el dios de la lucha libre, the Wrestling God, Moose, y Michael Morales Torres para Lucha Libre Online, la marca número 1 de Pro Wrestling y Combat Sports en el mundo.